Today is Monday, June 2nd, 2025. I am 11 to 12 weeks out from my first Fit Model bodybuilding competition. I have completed 4 weeks of prep. I started prep at 138.4. Right now I'm 133.2. So that's 5 pounds in 4 weeks. That's pretty good. I had a good week. And I'm just so excited for the process. I had another posing appointment with my coach, Lexi, and this time we were able to practice the walk for the first time, which I really gonna need practice with. But really, it's if I were to start off, well, let's start off in this position, so like the back pose, where you really tuck the hips, and then kind of like a glide, then hit the front pose. Crank that hip way back, rotate a bit, leg goes out here. This is supposed to be more kind of relaxed. So I don't know. I am loving this process, and I'm feeling leaner. I'm feeling good. So lots more to come. So I forgot to add, this past week my macros have been 160 carbs, 140 protein, and 45 fat. That's 10 carbs less than last week. My coach also dropped me down to 35 minutes of cardio a day, but wanted to increase the intensity. I've been doing 60 minutes of cardio every day, and then also walking in the evenings for about 45 minutes, just at a leisurely pace. She wanted me to cut that down so that I could, if needed, to build up cardio, that I wasn't starting with already such a high cardio. So we'll see what changes she makes today when I send her my check-in. It is Monday, June 9th, 2025. I'm starting week 6 of my prep. That means I've been doing it for 5 weeks. And I'm like 11 weeks out from the first potential show date that we have. So 133.0 today, only 0.2 less than last Monday. But Monday's weigh-in, but my average, I'm sure, was less than the last week's average. I had a lot of 132s this week. I am noticing just a lot of more definition in my arms and legs than I've had before. I just really feel like my body's starting to look different. My measurements are going down. My hips, especially in my thighs. And I'm feeling really good this week. Kind of hungry. I was hungry a couple of the nights, and my digestion is not great as of a couple days ago. And I think that's probably something that, as you're eating less food, can become an issue. So I'm trying to do that psyllium husk twice a day now. I was doing it once a day because it's starting to impact me. Today it impacted me. Yesterday too. But I'm still excited. I'm still feeling great. I still feel like this is exciting to watch and see, and I don't feel deprived in an overall basis, because I feel like the reward of just being in this sport and seeing what my body can do is like really fun. And so who cares if I'm not eating certain foods that is part of the regular world for this period of time? I don't know. I think this is pretty cool. So my posing, I haven't been practicing it nearly enough. But anyway, here's just, again, seeing what my body looks like. Is it different, before, but I am wearing these long tights. But the posing, this is a quick little, I'm not, gotta crank the head way out. All right, more to come. Today is Monday, June 16th, and this is my prep update. I just finished 6 weeks of prep, so I'm starting week 7, and my weight today is 131.4, which is a new low. That is great, feels really good, but my average weight is actually a bit higher over this past week than it was the week before, and I am attributing that to having somewhat of a mini period this week. I've been on hormone replacement therapy since last October, and this was the week that I was off the patch. My doctor has me on the patch for 3 weeks, then off a week. So I have not had the estrogen in my system, and it caused me to have a period, and my weight to go all the way up to 135. I think it was on Wednesday. Now I'm all the way back down to 131.4, so I ratcheted up and came down. So I'm happy about the loss. But you know, it also, I'm definitely feeling these estrogen changes, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this past week, I needed a nap in the middle of the day, which I don't typically. I was just exhausted. I was hungry. I did eat a smidge more than I should have of my macros, both on, I think it was Tuesday and even Wednesday, and that's where my weight went up a bit. But I didn't eat, it wasn't like a crazy amount over, but I reined it back in, got right back on track, which is what you need to do, because I'm trying to share the real thing, not just, you know, oh, it's all going perfect all the time. No, I was struggling, and I was getting, you know, worried. I didn't like feeling hungry. I didn't like feeling like I wasn't 10 out of 10 on track with my macros. And but my training was still good. You know, I've lost 7 pounds total at this point in 6 weeks of prep, so that's really good. And I'm trying to think, what else did I put on my notes here? I wanted to make sure I said. No, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm excited. I really want to keep going down from here. I would love next week to be staying under 130. Wouldn't that be great? Or even 130, you know? So, but yeah, slow but sure. I just need to keep my head down, take one day at a time. So this is my physique today. Just got back from the gyms. So now hit my pose here, make sure this has got to be the elbow forward, but then the hand in. There you go. So, onward we go. June 23rd, 2025. I have finished 7 weeks of prep, starting week 8. My weight today, 131.4, the exact same weight I was last Monday, but my weight was just up and down between like 134, 136, 134, 136, almost like the entire week. It never spiked higher, so my average weight is like 2 full pounds less than it was last Monday, because last Monday, even though I weighed this amount, it had been higher most of that week before. The calories I've been eating this past week have been, the macros were 145 carbs, which was a dip, 45 fat, and 140 protein, which has been the same all along. So I was hungry again this week. I think I need to downplay that, because the calories have got to get even less, I'm sure, and I can't be, I finished 7 weeks of prep, so that can't quite count as deep in prep like people say, because I've got still a whole nother like 8 weeks to go, although my coach has told me that she only wants me to kind of decrease for 5 to 6 more weeks, and she wants to spend the last 2 weeks bringing calories back up. So we shall see if my body, the physique, and the scale cooperates with getting as lean as she wants me to get by the 2-week point to feed back up. So, but I did struggle again with the hunger. What I've been doing is 2 of the different days, I ended up having some peanut butter in the afternoons, which turned into too much, and then I had to really not eat as much as I was planning to eat for dinner, and just didn't feel successful. And I want to go peanut butter free this week, because that is the one food that I tend to, you know, I guess I don't call it a trigger food, but I end up eating too much of it. And it just, I don't have the wiggle room for that right now. So again, 131.4, don't know if this looks so much different. I mean, I feel like my arms are feeling like absolutely jacked when I'm in the gym. Like I feel really muscular in the gym. My butt went down to 37 inches now, which is, you know, probably the lowest it's ever been. And I actually looked when I was about this weight the last 2 summers ago. I was this weight, but my measurements were a bit higher. My thighs, my hips, you know, everything was a bit higher. So I definitely know that I have more muscle than I have on my body the last time I was this low in weight. So the old posing, this arm has got up here, this is here. crank that hip way out, turn the torso over, make sure the arm is still visible. This arm, elbow forward, but hand in, toe. So the other thing I did this week was I posted in a Facebook group that I've been a member of for a long time called Over 50 Competitive Bodybuilders. And there are like, I don't know, 150,000 members, but I had over 800 people comment and like my post. Close to 900 people total either commented or liked it. I was just blown away by the support from that group. There's so many pros in that group, and they're just amazingly supportive. I couldn't believe it. So I also ended up posting again about the issue I've been having with the shoes. My biggest stressor right now is that my stiff big toe arthritis makes wearing the shoes for competition really painful. So they did have some tips when I posted again. First tip, of course, was suck it up and gradually increase your practice time so you can just stand it. Seeking out possibly a cortisone shot. I can make a doctor's appointment, see if that's a good strategy. But you know, there's some other things about I could be doing more with toe massage, toe mobility to get more movement in there, stretching out the shoes even more with a blow dryer, taping two toes together. So I'm going to be doing as much as I can because I like high heels. I want to feel that I'm graceful and confident and sassy on stage. You don't work this hard to get on stage and look like you're in pain and be wincing and just not be able to do well in the posing. I should be able to do well in that. I want to be able to do well in that. So I need to do whatever's necessary to look good in the posing, because whatever physique you bring, if you can't showcase it and you can't pose well and walk well, it makes me feel like it's for nothing. So that's my biggest goal this week, is to work on my posing, work on making those big toes do what they need to do. Monday, June 30th, 2025, the first day of week 9 in my prep. So I've officially finished 8 weeks. Okay, I will say this past week was the hardest one I've had yet. I even posted on social media about letting myself down, and I was embarrassed that I did because people responded with the care emoji, and I'm like, oh, I didn't really want sympathy, and I didn't really want to show I was being weak, or, you know, I don't know, and my coach didn't even like it or comment on the post because, you know, either you do this or you don't. You're not looking for sympathy. You're not looking for validation, or people is like, oh, you're working so hard, don't be so hard on yourself. No, if someone's in a prep for a bodybuilding competition, it's because they have the internal drive, the internal discipline, and they just do it like a machine, like a robot. That's the job. You know, and no excuses. And you know, so because it was Thursday night that I ended up finishing off the darn jar of peanut butter, because peanut butter has been my nemesis this whole prep. Any days that I was over on my macros, or not over on total calories, but over on fat, it was because I ended up trying to have peanut butter and ended up having like an extra little bit from the open jar. And so that Thursday, I just finished the whole darn jar. That's just what I did. It was like 3 tablespoons worth. And then I decided, oh, why not top it off with a handful of chocolate chips? And then my son Matt was over for dinner, and there was rice, and I was feeling nostalgic, and I ate this rice pudding thing my dad used to make. It was just a wreck of a night, and it didn't weigh myself the next day. But by the following day, after being 100% back on track, my weight was still only the same as it was on Thursday, the day of it. So, I mean, I actually think my body is responding better than it used to a day of off-plan eating, or not really a day. It wasn't a day. It was just the night of that one day. I was on plan all day up until that. So my weight had already spiked up. It was strange. I had a whole week of 131s, and then I did my check-in last Monday, and then wouldn't you know it, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was 132 for some strange reason, then 133, and then that's when, I think that was part of my, you know, thing, is I was just feeling down and in my head, and I consoled myself with food, which is not going to happen again the rest of this prep. I can just tell you that right now. And I'm not keeping peanut butter in the house for the rest of prep, so that's it too. So it came back down, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday 132.4, which is a pound up from last Monday's check-in, which was the same as the week before's check-in. My average weight will be up because I had all those 132 and 133s, but my measurements were the same around my hips, which is great. It was down to 37 inches last Monday. My chest measurement was down by, I think, 1/4 inch, which is, okay. So yeah, I mean, game on. I'm just, when I send my check-in to Coach Lexi today, I'm gonna tell her, bring it. Bring it. Let's decrease the food. Let's increase the cardio. Let's dial me in. Let's make these next couple of weeks get back on the downward trend. I mean, I've never had a time when I've lost it. I haven't had a little spike up along the way. I mean, that's just the way weight loss has always worked for me. And I think for most people, it ratchets down. It doesn't just go down with never any bounce ups. And plus, I got a little bit of a period starting today. And when I look back, if my weight's gonna float up, or even if my eating's gonna go on track, it will be the week before my period, which again isn't supposed to happen when you're 58 years old, 2 weeks away from turning 59 on hormone replacement therapy. These periods aren't real periods, but they do come almost every month still. But it didn't wait until my week off of hormone replacement therapy, which is supposed to be next week. This is supposed to be still a week on the patch. And I am on the patch, still on the hormone patch, so I don't know what's happening. My body hasn't decided what's happening. It's just always doing its thing. Well, so again, 132.4 after 8 weeks of prep. So here I am. A little bit of my posing, elbow forward, hand in. It's my hardest part. So there we are, okay? 132.4. And I'm feeling great. I'm in great spirits. Lots more excitement to come.